Here we are.
We live?
We are live.
We're back. All right. Well, Jason caught me off guard there. I was sleeping. So welcome back to another edition of Live Feed Read. Paul Reed, your host, with the Egg McMahon, my Johnny Carson, Jason Crawford.
Roger Dodger.
Welcome back. Well, thank you, Lord, for bringing us here on another Friday. It's been a soggy week here in old sunny Hillsborough County. I think the rain's supposed to taper off a little. Jason, so I'm going to jump right into it. Of course, I read the newspaper, as I've done since I was a tiny little tot.
All right.
Now it's on the computer, and I got to say, I first did not think I would like it. I always bought the newspaper, opened up it, read it, and so forth. I don't miss that for everything. There's just paper everywhere, ink everywhere.
Yeah.
I love the computer. Barbara Ann, i.e. Mom, she still, when she comes over, I got to run to the paper. Run to the store and get paper on Sunday. Dude, it's like $4 now.
That's insane, man.
So,
it's
stay over in Melbourne.
A relic.
I can't afford the paper.
It's a relic.
But anyway, this week, evidently, as I'm reading it, there was a young man that actually went to St. Stephen with Leanne, my youngest daughter, and his name's Andrew Joseph. And the parents have brought a wrongful death claim here in Hillsborough County Circuit Court against, among other entities, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. They also sued the Florida State Fair Authority, but it's my understanding that the fair settled in what we call on the courthouse steps, meaning this thing has gone on for years and years and years. I believe it started maybe in 2016, but they recently settled. So the Florida State Fair Authority is no longer a defendant. So the case proceeded in federal court. I'm sorry, I think I said Hillsborough County. I believe it's in federal court, which is in Tampa, Hillsborough County. But be that as it may, it's not state court, against Hillsborough County sheriffs. Without getting into all of the details, the allegations are that on, I believe it was Friday, February the 6th, Andrew was at the fair with some friends. For whatever reason. He was asked to leave by the Hillsborough County Sheriffs. He was escorted to one of the gates. I believe it was the gate on the west side by Orient, by one of the sheriffs. And I don't know what happened after that. You can read a little bit of this, read a little bit of that, do your own research. But ultimately, he ends up trying to cross I-4 at night, and he gets hit by a car and he dies. And so the parents' position is that once the sheriffs detained him, questioned him, they had a duty to make sure he was safe. They had a duty to call the parents to make sure he got home safe, and just not put him outside the fair and say, I believe he was young. I remember they were in 8th grade, and I'm forgetting if you're either 13 or 14 in 8th grade. I think either 13
somewhere around there. Yeah.
Like I said, they went to St. Stephen. He knew Leanne was in his class, and here's what kind of is weird. So we get up, Leanne and I get up Saturday morning for confirmation, and all the 8th graders were to go to St. Stephen, which we did for confirmation. I drop Leanne off. Life is good. Everybody's happy. I go to Chick-fil-A. Leanne likes Chick-fil-A. So I go to Chick-fil-A. By the time I get back, everybody's crying, Jason. Leanne's crying. Just everybody, parents.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell happened? When I left here, this was confirmation. This was a happy, joyous, religious, celebration. And it turned into a nightmare. Well, evidently, at some point, the parents and kids were made aware of what happened the night before.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so, that's what happened years ago.
That's
Remember
heavy.
I told you how long sometimes this can take? Well, this was a 2014 incident that's going to trial in 2022.
Wow.
So, when like Reed, we'll try to get your case. Now, this is a little different, but we try to get your case in 18 months. what is it? I'm not a math major, but this is 6, 7, 8 years later.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it can take time.
Yeah.
And so then, again, the question came up, and I think you asked me, do the police or can the police, question and detain your children without your permission? And so
Yeah. I mean,
really,
I'm
go ahead.
definitely wondering what the case really, what the case involves, like what their position is, holding the police accountable. You
Well,
know.
just simply that. Their position is once the police took my child into custody, they had a duty to ensure his safety. And part of that would have been calling the parents and say, hey, your son has been ejected, removed, asked to leave the fair. He's
Hmm.
13 or 14. I think he's 14, but he's either 13 or 14 years old. It's dark out. It's nighttime at this point. You need to make arrangements to come and pick him up. Now, in all fairness, Jason,
Hmm.
to the parents, if you're going to kick my kid out of the fair, and whether he deserved it or she deserved it or
Right.
not,
Right. Right.
you don't just take him to the gate and say, get out at
Sure.
13 or 14 years old.
Yeah.
I would expect you at least say, hey, look, come over here, call your parents.
Right.
If I'm not the police to call your parents and let them know what's going on. And I'll tell you. And again, I'm kind of Quentin Tarantino you a little. Leanne, God bless her, has a Jeep, right?
Hmm.
And evidently there was a party in a neighborhood somewhere in the New Tampa or Carrollwood area. I don't recall. Allegedly, someone in a white Jeep was driving through people's yards, right? So at some point, the police come, and Leanne is driving her Jeep home at that by then and gets
Okay.
pulled over.
Okay.
It's about 11 o'clock at night. Guess who I get a call from?
Leanne or the police?
Both.
Okay. Okay.
Leanne called dad, officer, whatever would like to speak
But
with.
Leanne called you.
Well, Leanne called, but the
Okay.
the police officer, I could hear him in the background when is that your
Yeah.
father? May I speak with him?
Sure. Sure.
I
Sure. Sure.
said, yeah, put her on the phone. So he tells me, kind of what's going on. A white Jeep. I
Yeah.
said, well, officer, there's many white Jeeps on the road today. I said, I'm not saying it is my daughter's. I'm not saying it's not my daughter's. And then, I think I talked to her briefly before
Yeah.
the officer. She said it wasn't me.
Okay. Yeah.
Whether it was or wasn't, only the Lord above knows, and
Right.
Leanne, and
Yeah.
Leanne.
And Leanne. Yeah.
But so I said, so if there's no witnesses to Leanne driving through these people's yards, I
Yeah.
said, why don't you? I think I said, you know what? She's in trouble when she gets home just for the fact that she's been accused or associated with something like this at a high school party. I said,
Mm.
but if you want, why don't you go ahead and tase her? And the guy said, excuse me? And I got to tell you, I had a couple of beers, and I said, yeah, go ahead and tase her. It'll teach her a lesson. So the guy says, is this really your dad? And Leanne says, and I hear him talking and says, yeah, why? He says, well, he just told me to tase you. He goes, are you safe to go home, young lady? Yeah, sometimes his sense of humor is not like everybody else.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so that one could have made it in the book, but it's out now, and Leanne can confirm. So either way, Leanne comes home. But
Okay.
having been said back to this, the police should have at least, me personally, whether they have a duty to do so, that's the jury and the
Right.
decide that. But they should probably
Yeah,
not
I imagine
kick
that.
a 13 or 14-year-old out without somehow notifying the parents, or at least
But you and I
attempting
have
to.
talked about this before. What
Yeah.
we think is right and wrong, and what may be right or wrong, isn't
Right.
necessarily technically legal
Right.
or legally required. And I think,
Mm.
I hate to say it, but I think somewhere in that technical space is where this is going to come down, where the arguments are going to come down. And it might end up being really sad.
Let's put that on the burner. We'll come back about
Yeah.
where the arguments and why and who,
Yeah.
what, when, where. But so here's the question. It says basically,
Okay.
and a lot of parents don't know this. You didn't know it. Can the police speak to my minor child without my consent?
Okay.
And I think you had said, I don't know, or no.
I don't know. I would think.
So the question is yes. The police can speak to, question, and even detain your child without contacting you, the parent. And under Florida law, they can approach and speak to your child while in school, out in a public place, or even if they're home alone.
Wow.
Yeah. And they can question your child about a crime that they may have been involved in, a crime or an incident they witnessed, or whether they're a victim to a crime. That is kind of scary. So, if
it is.
My kids are older, but you have a 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old.
Kids say the craziest things, though.
And I'm not saying they do, but let's assume once in a blue moon, there's a police officer out there that oversteps his bounds.
Yep.
Okay. If you lead a child, meaning you ask them a leading question. Jason, Leanne, you were driving your Jeep through their yard, weren't you? Don't lie to me.
Weren't you?
Yeah. Jason, if you lie to me, you're going to be in trouble. Dude. And I'm going to arrest yes, sir, even though you weren't.
Yeah. Well, that happened to me the other day. I was asking my son, because we were going back and forth like, tell me the truth. We're doing an exercise on tell me the truth, because I smelled him and he smelled stinky. My little 2-year-old. And I'm like, is your diaper poopy? And he's like, no. And I'm like, I smell it. I smell you. Like, I want you to tell me the truth. If you tell me the truth, you won't be in trouble. Like, just tell me the truth.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, it's poopy. And I open it up and it's not. He just may have farted.
Really?
Yes.
He just dropped a bomb on you. I got you.
Yeah. And so, like, he is.
You have given an example that. So anyway, okay.
Yeah.
So here's, unfortunately, what you need, in my opinion, but I don't care. It's up to you. You're the parent, and that's to all the people that may watch this. Listen, if a police officer approaches you and wants to speak with you, the police officer is there to help you. You always want to teach them that. But I would say, look, I don't want to speak with you or anyone until my dad or mom is here.
Okay, so they can do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, even children have the right to remain silent.
Oh, good, valid point.
Yeah, and even children have the right to ask for a lawyer.
Valid point.
But in this instance, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I'm not going to speak with anyone until I speak with my mom or dad. And if they say, well, you have to, then unfortunately say, I'm going to exercise my right to remain silent until my parents get here. That may take some time until you're sitting at the dinner table. What are you going to say if a police officer approaches you? As they get older, it's easier. I don't want to talk to you until I talk to my dad or my mom.
I want my mom and dad. Yeah.
And then if they persist, say I want to remain silent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And so I honestly I certainly did not do that with my children. I guess I didn't think much about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like everything in life. You don't think much about a lot of things until it's too late.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now understand this. Here's another caveat. You and as an adult, let's say you and I are you're I don't know, you're like 90 right now and I'm 35. And so and we're friends and I cannot stop you or stop the police from interviewing you. So let's just say, now as a lawyer I can, but let's just say they're interviewing you. I can't end the question. I can't tell the officer, stop questioning Jason.
Yes.
A parent can tell the police officer, stop questioning my son.
Okay.
And they have to.
Okay.
So that's different. So an adult.
And then I can call a lawyer.
An adult cannot stop the police from questioning another adult unless you're a lawyer. Then you just say, you tell the client, we're exercising our, Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Okay.
But as a parent, you can say, stop questioning my child.
Okay.
And I would do so every time until what, Jason? You contact a lawyer.
A lawyer, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and back to, so let's go back.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
So our timer is about to run out. I'm just gonna. What I'm gonna do is from where you just stopped there, I'm going to splice it. So I'll cut everything that we're saying right this second.
How much
I'm gonna
time
just
we
cut
have
this
left?
out. 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Well, let's wrap it up. Finally, real finally, is just simply what will a jury do? We have grieving parents, we have a deceased son, and we have nowadays, unfortunately, an entity that's not really what it used to be as far as credibility goes.
Okay.
So they could award them nothing, or they could award them $30 million, and we'll know soon enough.
Wow.
Yeah, like you think the law and the statutes and all that matter? Not all the time. Sometimes it's, do I like this person? Do I feel sorry for these people, even though you're not supposed to? And if so, do I want to do right by them? That could be enough.
Interesting.
All right. Well, we took up enough time. It's Friday. Jason, I know we're running out of time, which is good because we go forever. People don't want to watch it. Have a good Friday. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Jason, September 13th. The freaking idiot doesn't tell us. I would have put it up on the sign like I'm a freaking mind reader here. But either way, how old are you?
39.
40 years old next year.
Yeah.
Whoa, thank God for Grecian formula.
Yeah. I lost you. Yep. Hang on. Same link. The timer just cut off on us. I knew it would.
You don't pay for these, do you?
No.
All right, because I have Zoom Unlimited.
Oh, I know. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, do you think we need to just on the Grecian formula or leave it go?
Let's go back and do.
All right. We'll start again with the birthday. I can't see you though.
Oh, my bad.
We can go back with the birthday and you can splice it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready now?
Just start back with the like. All right. Well, that's it. Da 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 da.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. Okay. Say when.
Go.
Over there.
Yeah. Whenever you want.
All right. So that's it. Another edition of Live Feed Reads. Oh, by the way, Ed McMahon freaking didn't tell me that his birthday was the September the 13th.
Yeah, some things are better left kept secret.
He just drops the bomb now. You know why he didn't tell us?
Because I'm getting old.
There's Brian Staley. Hold on a second. Let's put him on hold. It's because he's 39 years old.
That's true.
Now, I'm just wondering, Jason's 39. Doesn't that hair and that beard look a little just for men like?
Well, no, I have gray hairs. The camera just doesn't pick it up. No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I am getting a bald spot.
And then next year's 40. You know, Jason, there was a movie in the 70s called Soylent Green. Have you heard of that one?
No.
You might like it.
Okay.
Basically, when you turn 30, which is not unlike where America and the world's heading, they turns you into food.
What?
Soylent Green was the food that America and the world ate. And so I think at 40, you're going to be the new Soylent Green.
Oh, my word.
Yeah,
that's hysterical.
If you're looking for one of those, I forget the types of movies that they call that, but it was interesting back in the day because what happened was, the 29-year-olds or something were trying to not become Soylent Green and a
Yeah.
sticker the
Yeah.
government was after them. It's actually
Yeah.
sad how stuff seems to all be coming through
Yeah.
fruit.
Right. Yeah. Idiocracy is a
At
good
this
one. It's a
point,
funny one.
talking about turning poop water into drinking water. My
Yeah.
gosh. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend.
Thank you.
Remind me next year in advance. So let's do something on your 40th. You can't just turn 40.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'll let you know.
So about a month before, 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, whatever.
All right.
Something. I don't know.
And then we'll live stream from skydiving. No, I'm kidding.
I skydive.
No.
All right, well, let's wrap it up. Hopefully, it's going to be a dry, beautiful weekend. We are moving into October, our 6 months of brutal heat. Although it's still going to be hot, I can tell you there is a twinge.
There's
of less humidity, of less sweating.
I felt it. Yeah.
Cooler at night, just a little.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Florida beautiful 6 months is coming. I can't wait.
I can't wait.
With that, Paul Reed, on behalf of Jason Crawford, we're out.
Yeah.